Good morning, it's Miss Foster. All right, so today is Tuesday, and we're going to be looking at some more from our Wonder series today. Today we will read the paired selection, Sharing Cultures, and you're going to be working on your writing. We're still developing a plan. We're going to talk about comparing text. As you read and reread the text, take notes and think about the essential question. Compare and contrast this text with Gary the Dreamer. So just in case you forgot what the essential question for this week was, it's how do people from different cultures contribute to a community? So again, it says compare and contrast this text with Gary the Dreamer. It says genre expository text. Read about how two people share their cultures, sharing cultures. Pat Mora is an author. Kadir Nelson is an artist. Their stories and paintings help others learn about different cultures. Pat Mora loves books. Pat Mora has a special word for how she feels about books. She calls it book joy. Born in El Paso, Texas in 1942, Pat learned to love books and reading from her mother. Books are magic to Pat. I wouldn't be me without books, she says. Pat grew up in a bilingual home. That means that she and her family spoke both English and Spanish. Pat is proud of her culture. She has written more than 36 children's books. Many of them are written in both English and Spanish. Pat uses her stories and poems to share her culture. She works hard to share her love of books with all children. Every year in April, many librarians and schools in America celebrate Dia. Dia is the name for Children's Day, Book Day. Dia means day in Spanish. Children get together at libraries, schools, and parks to celebrate. It's like a big book festival or party. Heroes in history. Kadir Nelson was born in Washington, D.C. in 1974. When he was 3 years old, he picked up a pencil and started drawing. Then, when he turned 11, he spent the summer with his uncle. His uncle was an artist and teacher. Kadir says that summer changed his life. Kadir is inspired by brave and honest leaders. He sometimes paints African American heroes he admires, such as Martin Luther King Jr. He also paints great athletes and everyday heroes, such as dads taking their children to the beach. Kadir wants people to feel good when they look at his art. His paintings are colorful and real. They burst with action. Kadir says he has always been an artist. Sharing how he sees the world is part of who he is. Inspired by cultures. Pat's books and Kadir's paintings are inspired by their cultures. Their stories and paintings contribute to how other people see the world. That's inspiring. Make connections. How do people help others learn about different cultures? How can artists and authors contribute to their communities? So how does Pat Mora feel about books? If you don't know the answer to that question, you need to go back and reread. Our skill is sequence. So when does Kadir begin to draw? Again, if you don't remember, you need to go back and listen again or reread. Remember, you can find this story by logging in to ClassLink and clicking on McGraw-Hill. Now summarize this selection to someone at your house. Tell them all about what we just read. Do that now. Okay, if you need more time, just pause the video and then start it again, okay? Do that at any time. Okay, so now you're going to be looking in your workbook, your reading and writing companion page number 22. How does the author use words and phrases to help you visualize how people share their cultures? What does visualize mean? How other people see something. Good. How does the author use words and phrases to help you visualize how people share their cultures? Analyze the text. After you summarize, reread to develop a deeper understanding of the text by annotating and answering questions on pages 20 through 22 of the Reading and Writing Companion. That's your workbook, pages 20 through 22. Make connections. Look at Make Connections on page 25. How do people help others learn about different cultures? What evidence could you provide from the text? How can artists and authors contribute to their communities? Okay, so now we're going to be working on your writing. We are working on a personal narrative this week. So we are working in the plan phase, and we're going to talk about sequence. Choose and use signal words. Remember that stories, including personal narratives, have a beginning, middle, and end. Writers tell stories in sequence or in the order that events happen from beginning to end. The sequence of events in a story helps readers understand what happens and why it happens. To help readers follow the sequence of events, writers use signal words. Let's look at the example from Room to Grow on page 28 of your Reading and Writing Companion. Okay, so this is page 28 from your workbook. It says plan sequence. Sequence. Writers tell stories in sequence or in the order that events happen. The sequence of events in a story help readers understand what happens and why it happens. Let's look at another expert model. Read the passage from Room to Grow. It says, first, she and Papa planted seeds in pots. Then they hung them from hooks. Next, they crammed plants onto shelves. Green vines tumbled over desks. Soon, our house had plants everywhere. Signal words show the sequence of events. Now reread the passage and circle the 4 signal words. Think about the memory you are going to write about. Talk with a partner about what you did. Use these sentence starters as you tell your story. First, I, then I, finally, I. Remember, you started this writing yesterday. You were supposed to choose one thing that you wanted to write about. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, go back and rewatch yesterday's video, okay? Okay, so it says in your writer's notebook, but just on a sheet of paper, you're going to draw a sequence chart and fill in the chart to plan your writing. Be sure to add signal words. Remember that every story has a beginning, middle, and end. Use signal words to show when things are happening. And this is what, right here, this is what your events chart's going to look like. And I'll show you another one in just a second. So writers use signal words to show sequence of events. These words help the reader distinguish what happens in the beginning, in the middle, and at the end of the story. In this example from Room to Grow, the author tells a story about planting seeds. She tells what happens in the order in which it happened, from planting the seeds in the pots to plants growing everywhere in the house. So you're going to circle the signal words. Which words did you circle? Now here is your chart. Make and complete a sequence chart. Do not forget to include signal words in your chart. All right, well, that's it for today. So I hope you have a great day. Remember to go on to Class Dojo and find the math video for today and watch that as well. You all have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.